Hey guys, today we are in San Antonio and I am going to show you one of our favorite breakfast casseroles, ham and tomato casserole. And then a little bit later, we're going to go on a bike ride to see some of the missions, all while having a whole lot of fun. Hey guys, we are in San Antonio today and our kitchen, we got in later last night, so our kitchen is not set up whatsoever, so that's why I'm set over here. Also because if you remember, we forgot our lights, and so I'm trying to get as close to sunlight as I can in our camper. But what I thought I would do this morning is show you one of our favorite casseroles. We've had this several times on this trip, but then I realized I had never recorded it for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to put together this egg casserole so that everybody in the family can have a yummy, hearty meal before we head out on a big bike ride today. So the plan, we'll see how the plan goes. You know how that goes. The plan is for us to go and explore the missions, and we've heard that riding your bikes to the different missions is the way to go. So that's, fingers crossed, what we think we're going to be doing today. But before we can do that, I need to get this breakfast casserole cooking while I take a few meetings for my job, and then once we have a yummy breakfast, then we're going to head out and have some fun today. So what you're going to need for this is about 10 eggs, a cup and a fourth of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of butter, which I'm going to go ahead and get melting in my Ninja. If you don't have a browning slow cooker or a multi-cooker that has the browning feature, go ahead and just melt this butter first. What we're just wanting to do is coat the slow cooker before we put all those eggs in there, so we don't have a mess to clean up. So we've got 2 tablespoons of butter. We have a brick of cream cheese. We have some grape tomatoes. This can really be I think these might be cherry tomatoes. This can be to your taste. I think this is probably about a cup. And then we also, I think I'm going to use about 4 ounces of ham. It can be any kind of ham. It can be diced ham if you like. It could be leftover ham from Christmas. Or it can be, well, as long as it's close to Christmas when you see this. Put it in the freezer. But anyhow, it can be leftover ham from a big ham, or it can just be lunch meat ham like what we've got here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crack 10 eggs and put them in our bowl here. Maybe. I put this down so I have something to work with. There we go. 1. It is so weird cooking sitting down because I usually cook standing up. I'm going to stop that right now because I think it's already melted. No, stop. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Priority number 1 is going to be tonight to get the kitchen set up when we get back. I can tell you that. Because I am making a mess. I'm channeling my inner Mikey. Did you hear that, Mikey? Okay, so we're just going to take a fork and break up the eggs really quickly. Because like I said, I have some meetings I have to do before we can run out of here. Miss Ab's got to get some of her schoolwork done. Daddy's got some errands to run and some videos to edit, or so I hear. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put a cup and a fourth, oh, there we go, of heavy cream in there and just blend that together. Okay. All right, salt and pepper. I don't have a really good salt pig here in the camper kitchen. I don't really like the one that we brought with us. So, kind of been just going straight from the box here lately. I'm going to save the rest of this salt for when I do the tomatoes here in a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do, that's hot. Okay, we're going to take these eggs and we're going to go on and pour them in. You could mix everything in the bowl, but what I find when you do that is that everything doesn't really get all that evenly distributed. So I'm going to pop this over to the sink. And now I'm going to, oh, I guess I can't stand up. I thought I was going to stand up. Okay. So now we're going to take our grape tomatoes and just cut them in half before tossing them in. Okay. And then I like to salt my tomatoes themselves too, because I think the salt really brings out the flavor. And then just pop them evenly into the slow cooker. And that's going to give a really nice burst of flavor when you bite into it. Okay. Clean up things just a little bit here. We got only 2 more ingredients to go. So let's do the ham next. I really don't measure a whole lot. I just take, like I said, I take about 4 ounces. It'd be interesting to weigh that to see if how accurate my assessment is. But I don't have time this morning. We are gonna get this breakfast a cooking. So there we go. Just chop it up. Again, sprinkle it in evenly. It's a nice big clump of ham. Okay. And then last but not least is this brick of cream cheese. This is my favorite part of a casserole. It makes that portion of the eggs really, really creamy. I have had some people, namely Mikey, tell me originally he didn't know that it had cream cheese in it. I don't think he's the biggest cream cheese fan in egg casseroles, but he does like this one. So even if you're not a big fan, you might give it a try. Or if you really, really, really don't like it, use something else. Use a different kind of cheese. We use this egg base a lot with 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. That's how we make, with the egg base, that's how we make our scrambled eggs. And they turn out so yummy. So you could always substitute that instead if you really, really are not a fan of the cream cheese. But I really, really, really like the cream cheese in this particularly. Okay, well, we're going to pop these in. This is going to cook on high for about an hour to 90 minutes, depending on how hot your slow cooker cooks. You just want the eggs to rise up and set. And so I will see you in about an hour. Ours usually takes about an hour. I would snap, but I have cream cheese all over my hands. I'm sorry. I've also got my hair on my face. I'm a hot mess this morning. Mikey's going to show you some clips from our trip today.
I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but Aki is a pan. He is so excited that he gets to go with us today. Where are we going today?
We are going to ride our bikes on the mission trail, and Mikey is going to hilariously figure out if he can bring Octavius with us.
I'm sure that you'll see the fun part of this. We've got a harness.
Like a backpack.
Yeah, kind of like a backpack or a front pack, kind of like what you put a baby in, only you put a dog in it, and I got elected as the one who...
He's self-elected, let's be honest.
Well, when he stays in the trailer by himself, he cries and whines because he's part of the gang and he doesn't like to be left behind. We found something that we could take him on, but now it's the logistics of... How do we take him? Because he's not going to want to walk 8 miles. I don't want to walk 8 miles. But we'll figure it out. Those look like marijuana leaves. I don't think they are. But
we're cruising the RV park.
Yeah, we're cruising the park. I've never seen a place that has a free dog wash, though. Like, you could wash your dog for free up there, which is cool. But now we're going to head out of the park and go to San Antonio and see the missions.
Yes. So
and also, just a little side note: the thing, like the little harness that we have for Rocky, for all you Gravity Falls fans out there, it's kind of like in the episode Land Before Swine, the commercial that Mabel sees for the Huggy Wuggy tummy bundle.
She'll start speaking English here in a minute.
Yeah.
Any Gravity Falls fans out there?
Gravity Falls fans, the thing that she got for Waddles.
Okay.
Here we go to San Antonio. So I left Cris and Aki in the truck because we're going to go find out, you and me are going to go find out just exactly how this trail works and best advice on how to go about it. So I'll go and ask somebody and we'll start. Looks like we're going to start with Mission San Jose. All right, so I went inside and talked to a couple nice ladies there at the visitor center, and I got my map for the Riverwalk bike trail and walking trail. She said that the missions are about 3 miles apart, so it's about an 8-mile run altogether. So we got some riding ahead of us, but it should be a good time. It's not too cool out here. It's not too warm out here, but I think with bikes and sweatshirts we'll be fine. Of course, you see kids are out playing everywhere, and they said it was okay to film around the mission, says there was no issue with that, so that's good because I want y'all to see what we're about to. It's gorgeous out here. The sun is starting to peek out of the clouds, so hopefully we'll have some well-lit shots for you, but pretty neat. They've got a 30-minute film in there, I guess, about the missions. We might do that after we do the bike trail. I'll see what they want to do, but we're going to start off with Mission San Jose and then bike our way around the Riverwalk. Bike our way around the... That's hard to say. And then bike our way around the river... Well... and then bike our way around the Riverwalk. So we really did want to take Ak with us, but in order to do that, I'm going to wear this harness as soon as I figure out how to put it on. Mom's going to go take Miss Ad to the potty, so that's all taken care of, so we can go on this little ride. I'm trying to figure out how to get dressed up in this thing. Octavius is starting to get a little antsy. I guess it's supposed to go like a backpack. So I think I've got it. Does he look comfortable to you? I can't tell because he's behind me. I can't see him to know whether he's comfortable or not.
Hi, Posse!
He's crazy. You're not going to carry him on front?
No, because it's like a backpack, so it'll slip off the other way. If it had a strap on it where it would hook the other way, like around my back, I'd do it, but...
We were carrying him on front earlier.
Here, what's he look like?
He looks like that. Yeah, a little.
Good all day.
Hi, Puppy. Hey, it's comfy.
Okay. Well, I guess we're on our way for a bike ride now. So we're getting lots of people who are coming up to us and wanting us to have our picture taken with Aki on my back. And this sweet lady took our picture after asking our permission, which was nice. And then she gave us a tin of cookies. So Cris is sadly trying to take those cookies back to the truck before we get going. Can you tell we haven't rode bikes in a while? Of course, I've got her loaded down like a pack mule too. So here's something really cool about San Antonio and their bike paths for the Mission Trail is you come up to close to one of the missions here in the park, and there's a bike station that has tools and an air pump. You got wrenches, you got screwdrivers. So if you need to adjust something on your bike, and I do because my seat's loose, I've been rocking back and forth on the seat, I can come up here and fix my bike so I can keep going. So good job, San Antonio. All right, all fixed. Should be good to go again. You know, you ought to get yourself a backpack. It's a lot easier. Check this out. Did you see a puppy dog back here, Aki? Oh!
What are you doing? You okay? No. What happened?
Got locked up in the gear.
You okay?
Yeah.
I'm taking it back.
So we're on the mission tour. Cris and Miss Ad just went and walked through it. I stayed outside with the dog and kind of chilled for a little bit because that bike ride wore me out. I need to work on my stamina, I think. But the missions down here in San Antonio, there's 5 of them. You've got Mission Espada, Mission Concepcion, where I'm at right now, Mission San Jose, Mission San Juan, and of course the Alamo, which is about 4 or 5 miles that way. Probably not going to go to that one today on the bike. But they were set up by Franciscan monks as small villages, and they gathered up the Native Americans from around here, and they converted them to Catholicism, to Christianity from their religion, and they formed these communities inside these giant walls, like a fort. And inside they had the main building, which was of course the church, and then also they had a communal area. There was a community, and that's where the Native Americans lived. They had full farms. It was an agricultural community. It's also kind of dark in here, but you can see here that looks like a look from inside of the mission. You had your church, here was the graveyard, and then they had this big open area. This is where the Native Americans lived and also harvested things like corn and wheat and things like that. Now we're going to take a tour inside Mission Concepcion. They were evidently shorter back then too. So I know I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, I'm sorry, but Coahuiltecan was the name of the Indian tribe down here, the Native Americans that lived, that were converted to Catholicism. And this is where they lived and worked. But man, the architecture, this was built back in the 1700s, and it's still standing. It's made using Texas limestone as well as stucco on the outside to preserve it. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm sure there was probably a giant cistern right here to hold water. As you can see up there, those two pretty much gutters, that's where all the rainwater would collect off the top of the mission and then fall into the giant cistern so they could conserve more water. And I would imagine in a hot Texas climate, you probably want to have as much water as you possibly could. It's like maybe that's where we would keep the holy water, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a Catholic, so if I'm getting this wrong, I really apologize. Alright, so now we've checked out Mission Concepcion, and now it's time for a 3-mile bike ride back to the truck. Definitely something you don't want to get into in Texas. Ride or die.
Please ride.
If we're gonna do more bike riding,
Not today.
we're gonna have to get better at it. There's lots of uphills over here.
Well, I think we started out without realizing it, and thank heavens, most of the trail that we started out on was mainly uphill, so thankfully coming back was mainly downhill. I can't imagine if we had parked up there and had to go all the way down and then make, oh Lord me.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for the full 8-mile trip yet, but we did, what, about 6? A little over 6?
I think, especially because we kept getting off on places that I don't think, like, I'm confused.
We didn't do the maps very well, but we saw some cool stuff, got some cool pictures.
Yeah.
Got to see the inside of Mission Concepcion.
And we're getting ready to see.
Yeah, Miss Ad and Cris are going to go see Mission San Jose.
Yeah.
Well, me and Ock collapse in the truck. Well, I say me and Ock. I think I'll collapse in the truck. Somebody decided he wasn't going to pedal at all. And then we're going to go get something to eat.
Alrighty.
Big steak.
Okay guys, it has been a little over an hour and this is done. The family's already dug in because everybody's hungry. So I am going to take me a nice slice of this and take a big bite. Hopefully, while we've been waiting for this to cook, you've got to see the adventures that I am yet to have. It's like I'm in some kind of weird time warp right now. So I'm going to give this a taste. I love this recipe. The ham has a nice saltiness to it that really complements the tomato. And the cream cheese just makes the eggs so creamy. One of my favorite, this is like probably my favorite breakfast casserole. I go back and forth on a couple different ones, but this is one of my favorites. Thank you for joining us today. If you liked this video, if you could give us a thumbs up. If you liked the cooking and the traveling together, we'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite part from the video? If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to subscribe and become a member of our crock potting family. If you keep watching, we'll keep cooking and all will be well. Bye guys. Shoot! Ouch! Oh! Ow! I tripped over Addie's Powerades. I got salt and a cut on my hand. I'm a hot mess. I stubbed my toe too. Don't you feel bad for me? Come on. Where's the pity?
So I come back and I thought they shut the gate on me. They didn't. Yeah, they did. Oh, crud.